Alon here from Saltwater Stories. I am so excited to have you joining me for this little tidbit of family time at your library with Donegal Library. We are talking festive treats, so this is my first of 2 videos, so definitely check the other one out as well. This is going to be our salty, savoury, super tasty little snack, canapé, something when you're watching a rerun of the Late Late Toy Show. It's just really easy. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, completely vegan as well. If you have any family members coming to visit that maybe don't eat meat, this is such a handy thing to have. You can make it ahead of time and also freeze it either uncooked or cooked as well. So it's just super simple then to heat back up when you have people coming over. So what I'll say is this is about 4 or 5 ingredients, but you can actually simplify it down to 2, and I will show you how if you just want something super fast and super simple. This is really kiddo friendly as well, because what we're going to do is we are just cutting out some pre-rolled pastry, and then we're going to be popping things in the oven. So there's no frying, no oil, nothing like that. You can feel free to let them have, get messy, it'll be great fun. The one thing I would suggest as well is obviously where grown-ups are going to do the cutting, but a really cool thing to actually invest in if kids are a little bit older and if you haven't heard them before is nylon knives. So that is a great way of getting kids responsible and careful in the kitchen, and maybe helping out with a few more tasks like prepping softer veg or softer fruit for meals. But without further ado, this is my kind of simple sausage roll recipe. So all you're going to need is all the ingredients as well are in the comments down below, the caption below, but this is just a really handy pre-rolled pastry sheet. You can go for any kind you like. If you have a particular favourite that you always use, I use the Just Roll gluten-free one because I'm celiac myself. So again, if you have any celiacs in family, anyone with any intolerance to gluten, this is a really handy one to have. So there it just comes like that, and I've just left it out to get a little bit closer to room temperature. My other ingredients, again, they're all listed down below, but just so you know what we have. We've got a little bit of cranberry sauce, a little bit of mustard, a little bit of poppy seeds, and then instead of brushing the top with an egg to get that lovely shine and crispiness, I'm just going to use a little bit of almond milk. Again, if you guys are eating eggs or dairy or anything like that, feel free to swap out with whatever you have. We want this Christmas and all of our catering to just be as easy and laid back as possible. So obviously, as the name goes, you're thinking sausage rolls. Again, if you prefer to eat meat, if you want to use pork or turkey sausages, anything like that, just work with what works for you, but just make sure that everything is cooked through and piping hot. So I have preheated an oven to about 200 degrees, and that's with fan assisted, so you might want to do 220 with a regular oven. And then what I'm using today, instead of veggie sausages, but any veggie sausages will do. I think if anyone's living in Bundoran and Donegal, the ones that you get in Super Value are lovely. Or another really handy trick is you can also use pudding, and I think this is a really nice one to use because often the actual filling in sausage rolls is closer to a kind of nice heavily spiced pudding than it is to an actual sausage. I'm using the Clonakilty one, and they do a great vegan pudding, a vegan white pudding that's actually completely gluten-free as well. So it's made using gluten-free oats. So the one thing I would say is just make sure that everyone is okay with oats, or else use the veggie sausages like I mentioned. So all I'm doing here is just chopping them more into a kind of a sausage form. So I've cut it in half and then lengthways again. So I'm basically getting kind of 4 good sized sausages out of that. Again, this is really nicely spiced. Now, if you've got slightly fussy eaters, what you could just do is just use these 2 ingredients. Really simple, really straightforward. I'll show you how to seal pastry and everything up. But if you do have more adventures or more sweet tooth or anything like that, feel free to add the sauce now. And this is what I think is just such a handy thing to do if you are kind of going for as fuss-free as possible on the day, because then people are just taking the sausage roll as it is. It doesn't need to be dipped in anything, doesn't need any sauces, it is just ready to go. So with my sheet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of line out my sausages and see how much I'm going to get. I might end up with a little bit of pastry left over. So yeah, for this I'm going to cut it in half lengthways. So I have 2 really long rectangles, and then again, like I said, I've got, if you can see it from here, I've got about 3 sausages that run the whole length of the pastry, and then I'm going to get about 1 more out. So I will have a good chunk left over. Again, you could just use more sausage casing, anything you like. and make more, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that to make some cinnamon rolls. So I'm just going to put that to one side. So just to show you on the smaller piece, I've got my square of pastry, and then I'm going to put sausage here. But what I'm going to just do is add a little bit of sauce on that center line. You can go as generous or as little as you like, depending on your family's personal tastes. I like loads of sauce, and I quite like when it's dripping out in the oven and then caramelizing. So about that much there. Sausage goes on. Nearly feels like we're making sushi. And then I'm just going to brush that other end with a little bit of my almond milk. And then that means it's going to get nice and tacky, and then when I roll up my sausage roll, it is going to be ready to seal. So again, you could make these as big ones. This could be 4 portions, and maybe it would be a nice little lunch with a salad, or you can cut them a lot smaller. So I'm going to do one part of the length with a little bit of mustard, because I like something a little bit spicy. Obviously not a lot of kids might want this, but this could be for mom or dad or aunties or grannies or whoever. And then I'll do 2 more with the sweet. So again, as much or as little as you like. You could use relish or something else instead, which would also be really nice if you're going for a little bit less festive. I just put it the whole way along. And again, don't worry about it coming out the sides, anything like this. We're not going for perfection. We just want it to be really, really tasty. And then I'm just going to brush that whole length. There again. Make sure that it's and then make sure it's all evenly coated. And then I'm going to do it as one massive roll. And then you're just kind of pinching it or pressing it down to seal. Now I'm going to make these into little mini ones. You could again do them really little, and then it's canapé style, or you can do them maybe half a sausage each, and that's just a nice little snack when you're watching movies, or even a nice little in between, between something like if you guys do a later dinner and an early breakfast and you're just grazing for the whole day. So I like to put a little nick in the top, and that'll just help steam escape, help the pastry rise. I'm just doing that across all of my little mini sausage rolls. Now you could freeze them at this phase if you wanted them with just a little bit of sauce or plain. Or what I'm going to do now is again kind of replacing my egg. I'm just going to brush lightly some almond milk. Again, if anyone has nut allergies or anything like this, obviously check the ingredients on the pastry, the ingredients on the sausage, but you could use a different milk for this instead. You could use an oat milk or something like that, or again you could use regular milk, or you could use an egg. And then I just like to put a little sprinkle of poppy seeds on the top. I think it looks really cute and it gives it a nice little bit of crunch. Again, feel free to leave them off or to use something different. You could also even do something like, if you wanted something a little bit more exotic, you could do a little bit of mango chutney instead of the cranberry sauce, and you could do some sesame seeds on top, and become a little bit more Asian inspired. And then I just pop these on a tray, and they're just going to take about, depending on your oven and depending on how brown or crispy you like them, I'd say about 10 to 15 minutes. But I would set an alarm for 10, maybe just check them between 10 and 12. Make sure they're looking how you like. And to do a little, here's some we made earlier, just to show the ones that have already been cooked. So we've got the mustard at the back and a little bit of cranberry sauce, and you can see how it's just kind of oozing out there, but it's absolutely delicious. And then, like I said, it's really handy because you don't need any dipping sauces, it's just ready to go. Obviously, if people are a little bit more particular, you could have a little container and just put a little bit of cranberry sauce on the side. That would be really, really nice. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you will try out our other video as well, and check out all the different resources and everything that's going out for family time at your